Good day everyone, and welcome back for another video. In today's video we're going to build this high efficiency QRP 4091 impedance transformer. This one will replace my older 4091 impedance transformer which I built back in 2022, and it was still working even today, but unfortunately that one wasn't so efficient, and because I wanted a more efficient 4091 impedance transformer, this is exactly what I needed. So I'm not going to go through the step-by-step build process because it's really annoying here. I have to work on the floor. I have a limited space, so it would be very interesting to watch me sit on the floor trying to build this one. But I'll go through the most important details and very tiny details that they don't seem very important, but they are. So I hope it helps. I hope you find some inspiration, especially if you haven't built one so far, because I always find inspiration in watching videos on YouTube. I get new ideas most of the time, so I hope it helps. In the next video, we are going to install this one outside, and we're going to tune the antenna, and I might have a trick or two for you on how to get the SWR on each band exactly where you want it to be. So let's not waste any time and jump into the build process. So these are all the materials, or most of the materials, that I'm going to need to build this 4091 impedance transformer designed for QRP and maximum efficiency. Initially I wanted to build in something similar to my older impedance transformer that I used to have. I built this one in 2022, and for this one I used the 114-43 because it was the only one that could fit inside the larger versions. And yeah, it's been good, but it wasn't so efficient, so I decided to rebuild my 41 to 49 to 1 impedance transformer. So the core is the reason why I'm redesigning my impedance transformer. And initially I thought about using the FT140-43 for this version, but I changed my mind, and when we talk about the cores and the materials, you'll understand why, because we go for efficiency. So what else I have? The 100 picofarads capacitor, the enclosure which is weatherproof, some 0.65 millimeters enamel copper wire, and 2 zip ties that I'm going to use to fix the transformer to a piece of plastic that I need to cut from something, and I will fix that one on the bottom of the enclosure over here with 2 holes so I can pass the zip ties. So going for efficiency, I also decided to remove the connector, so I'm going to drill a hole here and force the coax cable inside, solder the wires directly to the output of the impedance transformer. So this way I eliminated one connector, so minimal losses, and then I also eliminated the 2 other connectors that I used to have on my RF choke. And right now I build the RF choke on the coax cable itself, so the only connector I have in line is the one going to the transceiver, and that's it. So going for minimal losses both in the 49 to 1 impedance transformer and also on the coax cable. So let's talk really quick about the magnetic cores and why it's so important to pay attention to this. So I had quite a few options over here when it comes to magnetic cores. Again, I eliminated the 114-43 that I used to have because it wasn't very efficient. Then also I decided to eliminate this one, the 140-43, which is not bad, but it is not that great either. So I eliminated this one. These 2 are similar to the 114-43. They're just a little bit thicker and just a tiny little bit wider in diameter, but the size is very similar. It's also 43 material. It's not bad. I mean, they could be used, but yeah, this one was too small, even though for QRP should be okay, but again, it's not very efficient. And I had these 2 over here, and yeah, I decided to pick this one over here. They're very similar though, so I could use any of them. But I discovered this core thanks to Colin, MM0OPX. And I have to say thank you, because he spent a lot of time doing measurements, efficiency measurements on different cores that we use mostly for building the 49:1 impedance transformers. And when it comes to QRP, this was the core of choice and the most efficient. He had the best results with this one, so that's the one that I'm going to use right now for this particular 49:1 impedance transformer for QRP. And if you, I'll put a link in the video description to his video about the measurements that he made. And in his video description, he has a link that you can download, a spreadsheet table with all the results and the measurements written down about the efficiency of these cores. So for QRP, this is the recommended one. I'll put a link for this one as well in the video description if you want to purchase one. There's another version, and I'll put a link to that one as well if you want for higher power, like 100 watts or so. But for me, since I'm using 10 watts or so, this one should be fine. So let's not waste any time, and let's start building this 49:1 impedance transformer. Very, very efficient. If you want to end up with some really nice projects, don't forget about PCBWay. They offer great PCB prototyping services, PCB assembly, SMD stencils, CNC, 3D printing, and a lot more available for you. If you don't have an account for PCBWay, have a look down in the video description and you'll find a link that you can register and you can get a discount on your first order. Once you register for your new account, all you have to do is just to upload your Gerber files, select the proper settings for the PCB boards that you'd like to order, place your order, and just wait for the PCB boards to arrive so you can finish your projects. As I'm always saying, PCBWay is the way. Initially I wanted to wind the toroids on camera to show you, but it was really annoying. I have low light here because it's late in the evening, and I'm using manual focus lens to compensate for the low light, and yeah, it was hard to do that, but it's pretty simple. You have 3 turns in the primary, and then I twisted the wires over here so I have the output basically, and then I continue up until I get 21 turns total. So the way you count them, if you haven't built any so far, you have 1, 2, 3, then you have the output, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, so and so on until you reach 21 turns. So yeah, this is it. If it was thicker wire and a bigger toroid, and I would use probably like 1 millimeter wire, I would scrape the enamel over here and solder it over there. But like this, it's much easier to just twist the wires because the wire is not so thick. So yeah, this is the auto transformer style. You don't have any crossovers and anything inside, so you just continue winding in the same direction that you started. Here we have the almost finished 49:1 impedance transformer. I just placed everything temporarily to make sure that everything fits perfectly. I finished with the transformer. I already soldered the 100 picofarads capacitor, and over here, as you can tell, I managed to do the plastic thing that I was talking about. I'm going to take the coax out. The hole is really fixed, very tight, so the coax cable will insulate very well from humidity, so it won't allow the humidity from outside coming inside the enclosure. Here I have these things that will help me secure the coax to this plastic thingy. I drilled the holes over here where the transformer will be installed, so I can use the zip tie and secure it to the plastic. And the only thing that I wanted to talk about, and I think it's really important, is over here. So this is the little metal connection where I'm going to solder the end of the transformer, and underneath here I have a blocking washer, so it won't allow this thing to end up undone. and or how you call it, to you know, to unscrew from here, and it will become wobbly, and then I will risk to twist my my wire from the transformer when I'm tightening and untightening this thing. So yeah, and here on the outside I'm using a plastic washer underneath the nut, just because when I'm tightening this one, it will press that plastic washer on the enclosure, and this will create a perfect seal. There won't be any water going in. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's necessary to show you all these things. Maybe you have even better ideas, but just for those who haven't built this stuff before, and you want to build something that will last for quite a while, and you should not have any issues with the humidity and stuff, maybe these ideas are great. I'm also getting ideas by watching YouTube videos, so yeah, I hope it helps. So let me just put it together really quick, and I'll be right back so we can talk for the ending on the video with some other details. This is not something mandatory, is not that important either, but because I have, you know, I live in the humid place now and then, I usually put a pack of silica gel inside before closing this one. And I had the same thing in my past 49 to 1 impedance transformer, and I never had any issues with the humidity. So I don't know, might be helpful. You don't have to do it, but I like doing this. And we are done. That's it. This is the 49 to 1 impedance transformer. I soldered the wire in place over here. In here I left it because I'm going to solder the coaxial cable tomorrow. Remember, I'm going to do it outside since I'm not going to have a connector over here. So I'm just going to do this tomorrow. When I do the final install of the antenna, I'm going to tighten the screws over here, place the cover, and that's it. I'm just going to hook this one in its final position. So yeah, in the next video we'll take care of the measuring the SWR on the antenna, making adjustments, extending it or shortening it until we get the best SWR. And yeah, again, as I was saying at the beginning of the video, I'll talk about a couple of tricks that you might use to get the best SWR on each band that the antenna resonates on, using these few methods that we might have available. So that's it for today. I hope it helps. Again, don't forget, go watch Colin's videos, especially the one on impedance transformers and the toroids and the efficiency measurements that he made. But he had many other great videos, so I'd really recommend you to go watch his channel as well. So I'll see you in the next video. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and 73 from Yankee Oscar 6 Delta X-Ray Echo.